Now, there has never been a better time to get into Gran Turismo 7 than today. GT7 is the best it's ever been, but it's also the most complicated it's ever been. And if you're a new Gran Turismo 7 player in 2023, or if you're returning after a long break, you might just be confused by what on earth to do, and I don't blame you. If you look at the home menu here, there's so many icons going on. Where on earth are you meant to start? Well, in this video, I've got you covered. I'm a sort of expert Gran Turismo 7 player, been streaming it now for a year, and I'm going to let you know the kind of most efficient and path through the game to get to the most fun. Basically, how can you get through this to get to the most fun? That's what this video is all about. I want to say a big thank you to GT Mega. GT Mega have sponsored this video. You can see here I'm sitting in a GT Mega Prime. It's an absolutely rock solid rig. But GT Mega have also recently launched an innovative product called the Chair Link. I have a video of it on my channel, and it transforms an office chair and a wheel stand into a very, very, very solid rig. So if you want to get into sim racing, do check that out. And if you use a code Kireth5 at checkout, you get yourself 5% off. Thanks so much, GT Mega. Now, on this menu, if you are brand new to Gran Turismo 7, you will have had to go through Music Rally first. Don't worry, once you do that, you don't really have to do it again. It's not a very popular game mode. But what you should be doing is these cafe menu books. The cafe in Gran Turismo 7 is the single player kind of campaign experience. And it's a little bit weird. People don't really talk about this. But the whole idea of the cafe menu system is that you go through these books. And as you complete these cafe menu books, you actually unlock functionality in the game. So off the bat, you can't drive online in the game. You can't do the escapes mode and things like that. You have to unlock them. Now, there's a really weird thing here, which is when you complete a cafe menu book, often you need to collect cars. You can see here, here's the menu, collect these cars. You can actually just buy these cars. So the cafe menu bit will tell you to go out and do this championship, and in the championship you'll win the cars, but you can also buy them. So if you want to speedrun this, and you can see how many I did on the 4th of March, if you have the in-game credits, you can just buy them. It's worth bearing in mind if you want to kind of speedrun and get to another part of the game that you're more passionate about. But to be honest, the cafe menus are a really nice curated part of the game. If you dive into it, if you're really into car culture or want to learn a lot more about cars, then it is a really cool thing to do. You have a guy called Luca who will guide you through, and it's a great introduction to GT, kind of going up into faster cars, and you unlock the tracks as well. Now, once you've got your relevant cafe menu bit that allows you to go online, there's actually two ways you can drive online in Gran Turismo 7. You have the sport mode and you have the multiplayer lobby system. Now, sport mode is all about the ranked element. Sometimes there are some unranked lobbies, but most of the time this is all ranked. You have your daily races. You have 3 a day: daily race A, daily race B, daily race C. They go from short to long, and also kind of less complex to more complex, so C being the longest and the most complex. Daily race C is twice an hour, A and B are 3 times an hour. So you can do that. The way these work is that you have a qualifying time, and your qualifying time is actually where you start on the grid when you get ranked into the lobby, so it's worth you doing your time trialing. You don't really have that in unranked lobbies. So that's all of your daily racing. That's sort of the bread and butter of Gran Turismo 7 online. This is where to find it. You also have online time trials. These are not competitive in terms of you're racing other cars. These are just you on your own, but it's a time trial leaderboard. And if you're within the top 3% of the fastest time in the world, you get a sizable credit bonus when the time trial's done. So you get a 2 million credit bonus. I often do guides for these time trials on my channel just to let you know how to kind of get those fast times. Now, when they do championships, the championships will be here below. There's going to be a new championship soon. Those run normally once a week for both driving for your nation, also driving for your manufacturer. They're really fun to do. You accumulate points throughout the season, and at the end of the season, actually the drivers with the most points, they normally qualify to go to the real world events. So this is a whole esports ladder here. That's in the championships. You can see at the top you have your stats as well, so you can check all your stats and see how you're doing. This is all the ranked element. You can see I finished in the top 5 156 times, which I will take. Now, the other aspect of online is the multiplayer lobbies. This is a little bit more unregulated, so we'll leave 2-player split screen here. So if you want to drive online, you go into this lobby menu and you can see all of the lobbies that people have just created. So these are people just going out creating lobby. I do these on stream a lot, where I do kind of crazy combinations. So I thought it'd be better to actually let it load so we can see. And you can see here all of the lobbies. Something that's really frustrating is that you cannot sort these by how full they are. But you can see there's 26 pages of lobbies here. And these are cross-platform. So these are people racing on PS4 and PS5. The daily races at the moment, I believe, are single platform. So if you're on PS5, you'll race other PS5 drivers. Same for PS4, but these are cross lobby. So you can get involved here. Unfortunately, the way they really shot themselves completely in the foot here, because you just can't sort by full lobbies. So you end up going through a lot of pages that have like one driver in them. So a little bit weird, but you can see a lot of these are populated. A lot of role playing goes on here. You've got a car show, you have police ones as well, drifting lobbies. It's a lot of fun. So if you like online, as soon as you unlock your cafe menu bits that allow you to do that, you can kind of go offline and do that. Now, if you like collecting cars, there's 3 ways you can acquire the cars here. Firstly, you have the Legend dealership. These are the most expensive cars in GT7. These cars are actually really, really expensive. And it's also dynamic. Like, that car was available earlier today. I think someone on my stream bought it, and now it's sold out. So it's like a real-world auction house. Same with the McLaren, that's now sold out, but it was available earlier. This has just come in, so you can buy it. So this is a dynamic auction house. A bit controversial because they're very expensive. The cheapest cars you can get usually are in the used car dealership. These are cars normally before, well, cars before the year 2000, I believe, are only found here, and in Legends you can't buy them elsewhere. But you also have newer cars as second hand. If you've bought the car already, or you own the car already, it will have a little blue filled out book. If it's a grey book, then you haven't. You can see I own the R34, but I don't own the Z8, for example. So really cool to come here and see what's going on with the used dealership. Obviously, some cars are limited. They circulate. So if you want to buy a car sometimes, it might not be in the used car dealership or the Legend dealership, and you just can't get it. So bear that in mind when you're trying to do cafe books. Brand Central is the big place where you buy cars. This is all of the dealerships. You can go through, look, and there are so many cars here that, to be honest, don't really get a lot of love in the game. Like, for example, the DB11, when someone's going to drive that. The Aston Martin ones, the Vulcan. When do people ever really drive the Vulcan? So lots of stuff here to get into. There's a lot of longevity in the car. So if you're a car collector, that's where you want to be. You just want to make sure that you're getting the credits and do it, and then you can go into your garage. By the way, a little top tip, if you want to kind of see how well you're doing on collecting cars, go into the car collection. And you can see here, they should do a much better job about incentivizing us here, I think. It should reward you when you kind of collected squares or lines or something, a bit like bingo. But it doesn't. But anyway, this is the car collection here. You can also change your cars in your garage and tune them as well if you're into tuning. Now, in terms of the driving outside multiplayer, a lot of the cafe menus will take you into the world circuits and do tournaments, championships. You can also do them at any time here at the bottom. So you can see for this one, it's a championship. It shows you how much you're getting for your position, and you can see on the right hand side the circuits that go through. So if you're really interested in kind of doing these championships, this is where you find them. It's not a great part of Gran Turismo 7 in my opinion. I feel like they haven't really shown it any love. There's no storyline there, it's just a bit bland. Now the license center, if you're an old school GT player, you'll know this very, very well. This is a classic kind of doing the corners and going around the cones, and I think there's coffee breaks as well in here if I remember, stuff like that. So this is absolutely classic licenses. I'm not actually too fussed by it these days, but just so you know, if you're someone that wants to smash through the licenses, it is there. It's a fully fleshed out experience. This is an area of the game that doesn't get a lot of love. This is missions. Now, I haven't really done any of these, but again, if you're someone that likes driving in single player, then I would expect you'll be spending more time here. These are kind of curated challenges that are a little bit more difficult than the ones you just get in the standard World Circuits Championships. So, and they have been adding some here as well, like these human comedy ones were added. Their 1 hour races actually were quite a big payout. So just to take some stock, if you like the online aspect of racing, you really want to be in sport mode and multiplayer. If you're someone who likes a single player, you kind of want to be doing the world circuits, the licenses, and the missions. So that's all of that broadly covered. This is where you buy your cars. It's all coming together now. Down here we have GT Auto and the tuning shop. The tuning shop is where you buy tuning parts for your cars. GT Auto is actually where you do the livery customization. You can also do things like add a wide body, you can wash your car, you can do the rims and stuff like that. So 2 different shops here. Why they're not combined, I don't know. But yeah, this is where you create the livery. So if you're an awesome livery creator, this is where you go edit them, apply them, whatnot. So we're absolutely rattling through, but I don't want to make this a long video. There's actually only 2 more things on this page that we haven't covered now, and that's this, which is escapes, and this is a showcase. So the showcase is your hub for sharing and also viewing kind of creator or creative stuff in the game. You can see here I've been taking some photos. This is a photo here. I could share it, people can comment it, like it, whatnot. You can show your liveries and stuff like that as well. So great stuff in the creator hub, which is what they call it, the showcase. And this is escapes. This is a really, I think, underrepresented part of Gran Turismo 7. Escapes is just so unbelievably powerful. I really enjoy it. It's probably the best photo editor you get in any game in the world right now. It's just so simple to use. You can see here we can go out RCZ, we can adjust the aperture, make the background a little bit blurry, autofocus it. If it was moving, the shutter speed would be relevant, and then take the photo. And this is a composition of obviously an in-game asset against a real-world photo. Can save it as well, and there we go. So escapes is just so powerful. I spend a lot of time in here taking photos. If you're I would say if you really like taking photos, you may just get enough value out of Gran Turismo 7 just from escapes. I really mean that. That statement is going to be very controversial, but that is some of the most enjoyable time I've had in Gran Turismo 7 is taking escapes photos, and you can do some incredible things with it. As we go back to the showcase, I just want to show you like what the community is doing. But some of these photos are just so unbelievably stylistic. You can see here, you know, the amount of clarity they've got in the Bugatti here and the rain, and it's all unbelievable. I mean, I don't even know if that one is actually from an in-game or from that's a race photo. So the fact they've done that from a race photo is absolutely phenomenal. So that's every single aspect of Gran Turismo 7. I hope that demystifies it for you. Please make sure you subscribe if you want me to do more guides like this. Seeing how much interest there is in this video will let me know whether we should be doing more of these. There are lots of other stuff tucked behind as well, like the very controversial roulette system is actually hidden away here in GIFs. For engine tuning, it's here in the tuning parts. I haven't really gone into tuning here because we've got loads of tuning videos on the channel, but that's all there as well. But this is broadly it. So I hope you enjoy it. Let us know if you're new to Gran Turismo 7 in 2023. Can't wait to drive you if you are, and I'll see you in the next video.